Welcome to Just a Minute. Right. Yes. Hello. My name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute waltz fades away, once more it is my pleasure not only to welcome our many listeners throughout the world, but also the four distinctive, diverse talents who this week are going to play Just a Minute. We welcome back one of the golden oldies of the show, who's been with this programme since it first began many years ago, and we are delighted to have him back, and that is the inimitable Derek Nimmo. We also welcome back someone who's played the game many times with great success, and that is the irrepressible Tony Hawks, and someone who's played it not so often, but also with great eclat, and that is the incorrigible Graham Norton, and someone who's never played it before, but we're delighted to welcome this wonderful comedy performer, and that is Linda Smith. Will you please welcome all four of them? As usual, I am going to ask them to speak on a subject that I will give them, and they will have to do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviating from the subject. Beside me sits the most attractive Elaine Wigley. She has a stopwatch in one hand to help me keep the time, and also a pencil poised in order to help me keep the score, as well as a whistle to blow when the 60 seconds are up. And this particular edition of Just a Minute is coming from the Lyceum Theatre in the steel city of Sheffield, the industrial heartland of what was Britain when it was an industrial nation. And in front of us we have a warm, responsive Yorkshire audience. As we start the show with Tony Hawks. Tony, oh, what a lovely subject to begin the show with. The full Monty, that's the subject. I think they clapped because they thought we were going to do it. This is radio, we will try it on the radio, but Tony, talk on the subject, 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
One of the main reasons for the success of this film, The Full Monty, is not, as most people think, because members of the...
Oh, Graham Norton, you challenge, yes.
Oh, it's a word I didn't recognise.
I know. He was thinking about what he saw in The Full Monty and he completely dried up. So, Graham, you get a point for a correct challenge. You take over the subject. There are 51 seconds left. The Full Monty starting now.
Perhaps an unpopular opinion here, but I don't understand the appeal of the Full Monty. Frankly...
And Derek Nimmo's challenge.
It is an unpopular thing to say. Therefore, deviation.
So, what is your challenge, Derek?
Deviation.
No, I disagree. So, Graham, an incorrect challenge. You get another point. You keep the subject. You have 42 seconds still available. The Full Monty starting now.
Imagine, if you will, Richard Whiteley standing on top of a glass-topped coffee table, twirling his blazer above his head, yelling loudly, "One from the bottom, Carol!" Now, that's what I call a strip show. Surely, if the Full Monty wanted to succeed on every level, that's the line they should have gone down. My other concern is the name The Full Monty, given that Monty in itself is short for something. Ergo, if that makes sense, someone will tell me if it doesn't. Oh.
Whoever is speaking when the whistle goes gains an extra point, and on this occasion it was Graham Norton. And Linda Smith, it's your turn, so let's hear from you. The subject, oh, a lovely one, Auntie. Tell us something about Auntie in this game, if you can, starting now.
Auntie. I've got an auntie who's lovely, but she will knit, often quite unfortunate gifts for me. Example, one Christmas many years ago, she knitted yours truly a woolen swimming costume. It was fine until wet, when the wretched garment stretched and dragged along the seabed like some sort of drift net, probably contravening several EC regulations about net size. However, the pilchards came in handy and we'll never want...
Graham, you challenged.
There was another net, wasn't there?
Yes, there was more than one net.
Was
Oh, no,
there?
no, maybe a drift net is one word, and I'm so wrong.
I think it's hyphenated. So tell you what we do. As you haven't played the game before, I will be generous on this occasion and say that was an incorrect challenge, and so you have a point for that, and you keep the subject, and you have 28 seconds still available on Auntie starting now.
And we never wanted for krill. Another auntie are those relatives who are not a real auntie, comforting and familiar people like...
Derek Nimmo challenge.
Hesitation.
I'm afraid is hesitation. No, but you did jolly well. And 14 seconds available for Auntie with you, Derek, starting now.
My auntie Nancy lived in Sheffield and she was headmistress of Carfield School. And I well remember going to her retirement party in 1942 when she praised all the brave soldiers who'd gone off to...
Derek Nimmo, speaking as the whistle went, got that extra point. They've all got points now, and in the lead, Graham Norton, one ahead of Derek Nimmo and Tony Hawkes, and two ahead of Linda Smith. All very close, all great fun. Graham, your turn to begin. The subject, Gilding the Lily. Talk on the subject starting now.
Gilding the lily is an expression I'm not that fond of. It's a little too poetic for my taste. However, a good friend of mine, Ina Harang, from Norway, introduced me to the joys of the Norwegian way of saying gilding the lily. That is...
Linda, you challenged.
He's sort of talking like Stephen Hawking.
When he thinks he's sounding erudite, he goes into his Stephen Hawking's mode. But Linda, that was a lovely challenge because we enjoyed it, and as the audience response showed you, what I like to do on those occasions is to give you a bonus point for a lovely contribution, but as he wasn't actually deviating in any particular way, you still have Gilding the Lily, and 37 seconds, Graham, starting now.
Don't say gilding the lily, rather say butter on bacon.
Tony challenged.
Two says, don't say, rather
Don't say. Yes, so two says.
You're so right.
I know. Listen,
Thank God you're here.
Tony, you have a correct challenge. You have 31 seconds on Gilding the Lily starting now.
Gilding the lily is to add superfluous ornament to that which is already beautiful, which is why I'm not wearing any makeup this evening. I once tried to gild a lily. She was a big woman, and she wasn't having anything of it. We got into terrible trouble. I've never done any gilding before, and I don't think she'd been gilded, to be honest. But we gave it a go. After 20 minutes, I gave up and put some makeup on. Why not? I'll say makeup again. No one seems to...
The person sitting next to you, Tony, did pick up the makeup. So, Linda, you're in first with your challenge, which was repetition of makeup. So you have 5 seconds on Gilding the Lily starting now.
If you wanted to gild the lily, you could gild the lily very successfully.
So, Linda Smith got a number of points in that round, including the one for speaking as the whistle went, and she has gone into the lead alongside Graham Norton. Tony Hawkes, your turn to begin. A Thankless Task. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
Some people would say that hitchhiking around Ireland with a fridge to win a £100 bet, as I did in May 1997, was a thankless task. But frankly, the remuneration I've got from the book has made up for that. But enough plugging, you can't do that on this show, I know. But what I will say that is I used to do warm-ups for TV shows in the 80s, and if ever that was a thankless task, that was one. Producers used to ring me up and they'd say, will you do this? Basically just chat to the audience before the TV recording, keep them happy, and then everyone will laugh during the television show when it goes out.
And Derek Nimmo challenge.
Repetition of show.
Yes,
Correct.
and television too, but doesn't matter. 25 seconds. Derek? A Thankless Task, starting now.
I was asked to do a television program one morning early, and I had to choose something I would like to be, an airline pilot. But I thought a more thankless task would be a dustbin man. So off I went in my car. My driver dropped me off at the place where you put on the thing, and in my rags off I went to be this particular fellow. Gosh, it was such hard work. You've no idea. When you put those bins onto your back and throw them into a...
A more unlikely bin man I can't imagine. So at the end of that round, Derek, speaking as a whistle, went getting that extra point. He's now equal in the lead with Graham Norton and Linda Smith, only 1 point behind us, Tony Hawks. It's all very close, and Derek Nimmo, it's your turn to begin. The subject now is Enigma. Tell us something about this in this game, starting now.
Well, I've always tried to be a little bit of an enigma myself. Slightly mysterious, curiously strange. Tiny bit weird, perhaps. I am an enigma. Mind you, when one thinks about that wonderful music, the Enigma variations, and King George VI, God bless him, his favourite piece of music, which was Nimrod.
Tony challenged.
Repetition of music.
Yes, you did say music, wasn't it? So, Tony, a correct challenge. 36 seconds are available. Enigma starting now.
To me, it remains an enigma that the film Back to the Future 3 was released first. Surely this should have been the other way around, or in some way along those lines. Anyway, now what I want to say is also...
Graham Norton challenge.
Repetition of want.
Good. Well done. Well done.
So, Graham, you have the subject of Enigma. 23 seconds starting now.
Enigma, to me, are always that band. Don't know if you remember them. Perhaps that wasn't even their name, and I'm talking rubbish. But I believe...
Linda's challenge.
That was just a mercy challenge.
Because he was deviating from Enigma because, that group didn't exist, did it?
No, it did, Nicholas.
It did, I know. I was trying to help Linda because she said you were talking rubbish, you see. So, Linda, we give you the benefit of the doubt there, and you have 12 seconds on Enigma starting now.
What Nicholas was talking about just then is a complete and utter enigma to me. What was he wittering on about? I haven't the slightest idea. I don't want to be rude because I've only just...
Linda Smith speaking as the whistle when getting that extra point, and she's taken the lead at the end of that round. Linda, it's your turn to begin. Yorkshire. 60 seconds starting now.
Ah, Yorkshire, it's where we are now. Yorkshire, the county that gave us Geoffrey Boycott, Freddie Truman and the Yorkshire Ripper. But on a lighter note, Yorkshire pudding. The pizza of the north. But with gravy on top, rather than mozzarella, anchovies, green peppers, olives, tomatoes, pepperoni, pineapple...
I've got to be fair here. I have little lights in front of me, listeners. Tony and Derek, you actually coincided. Who's going to take the subject?
Give it to me.
Tony, you're sitting next to Linda. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll be generous to Derek next time there's such a situation. So, Tony, 35 seconds. Yorkshire starting now.
My father is actually from Yorkshire, Bridlington, so I've always liked coming here and support Sheffield Wednesday to some degree. I don't know why. Who happened to beat Manchester United 3-1 quite some time ago. That was tremendous. I think Yorkshire pudding, Linda was talking about earlier, is absolutely delicious. Nothing I like more than having it served up on a Sunday lunch as I sit there around my little table, totally alone, nobody else there. And I tuck into it, gravy on the top. It is...
Linda challenged.
Repetition of I, possibly?
Oh, she's learning fast, isn't she? Your challenge is correct. So I have to,
I'm
within
sorry,
the rules
the rules
of the game...
are so arcane. You interrupt, you don't interrupt. I don't know what.
I think it's fair. I mean, I only got the subject because I was sat next to her, so...
The same thoughts crossed my mind, Tony, so she has it back again, and you started with it, and you have 8 seconds to continue. Yorkshire starting now, Linda.
Yorkshire, Sheffield, where we are tonight, is a city in Yorkshire and the city of the full Monty, which many people don't realise...
So Linda, who hasn't played the game before and finds the rules arcane, is doing extraordinarily well and has a commanding lead over all the others at the end of it. Graham Norton, your turn to begin. Mind-altering substances. 60 seconds starting now.
Mind-altering substances were, I believe, introduced into my Midland Mainline coffee today. For I just took one sip, and then I had the sensation that the train was moving very slowly for a long time. Nothing outside that window was blurred at all. I could see every leaf on the tree, crystal clear. And suddenly I found myself feeling depressed, even bored. And I'm not like...
Tony challenged.
He's taken too many mind-altering substances.
So what's the challenge?
I'll think of one. Deviation from being normal.
No, I think he was being utterly Norton, actually. And obviously the audience were enjoying it. So, Graham, 14 seconds. Continue with your mind-altering substances. The demonstration was as good as the dialogue. 14 seconds starting now.
Mind-altering substances are great. I think everyone should take them. Go out now and buy some in the street. There's probably out there people... Oh, I said out there twice. Never mind, 3 times now.
The fatal mistake of this show is to draw anyone's attention to it, Graham. But Derek got in first. So, Derek, yes, you repeated it. 6 seconds for you. Mind-altering substances starting now.
I remember going to Lake Machu Picchu, and there they had lots of coca leaves, which I shoved into my mouth with a little lime juice, and that made...
Derek Nimmo, speaking as whistle went, gained that extra point. He's now equal in second place to Tony Hawks, just behind Graham Norton, who's just behind Linda Smith. And Tony Hawks, your turn to begin. A hard-boiled egg is the subject. Tell us something about it in this game, starting now.
Recently, I went up to a boiled egg and said, "All right then, come and have a go if you think you're hot." And it was. It had a black belt in judo and it broke my arm. Shan't be doing that again. Nothing less war. I like more.
Derek Nimmo, you challenged
There was
first.
sort of a gap, wasn't there?
There was a gap, yes, there was a gap. Yes, he was riding his laughs there. 44 seconds, Derek. A hard-boiled egg, starting now.
I must say, in all these years, I've never had such a rotten subject as a hard-boiled egg.
Graham Norton challenge.
It was another mercy challenge. I just thought, not happy. Derek wasn't happy with that subject.
So,
And I just stepped in and removed it from him.
well, he hasn't hesitated, deviated, or repeated anything. So, Derek, do you wish to hand over or you keep going?
I'll keep going, struggling.
Right, fine. So, Derek has a point for an incorrect challenge. He keeps the subject 36 seconds. A hard-boiled egg starting now.
Get the water to a boil and then put the egg in for 5 minutes and it'll be really hard-boiled and you can use it for a salad niçoise with some seared tuna.
Oops, sorry, Mike, I just hit it.
Who's doing that? Who's doing that?
Elena's cracked up. She's gone. Because I hit the microphone by mistake and said, "Sorry, Mike." Who challenged? I hit the mic. It was Linda. Linda, you challenged. That's right, Linda. Linda, yes, I hit the mic as I turned to face Linda. Because Linda's on my right and Derek's on my left. I should explain to our listeners.
I seem to have lost the plot of this.
Linda, you challenged. What was your challenge? Can you remember?
Oh, God knows.
Right. I think it was a correct challenge, anyway. "26 seconds, Linda. A hard-boiled egg starting now." Linda's gone as well as Elaine now. They're in fits of giggles. Right. Derek, you got in first. Another long pause
Well,
from
you
Linda
said you
then.
wouldn't give her a second chance, and she didn't start again.
That's right, correct.
Yeah.
24 seconds, a hard-boiled egg starting now.
I have not known many hard-boiled eggs, though I did once go to an island with a very similar name, which was rather soft, which is a bit of a shame, because not entirely what I'd expected at all. The thing is to get the yolk and the white equally hard, and then you have a truly hard-boiled...
Wait a minute. Tony challenged just before the whistle, yes?
Well, I thought he was going to take about an hour saying the word half.
I think it was so slow, I will interpret that as hesitation, drawing it out to an extreme length, so we call that hesitation. You've got him with 1 second on a hard-boiled egg, Tony, starting now.
Sometimes people throw...
Linda, our first-time player of the game, is still in the lead, 1 ahead of Derek Nimmo. He's 1 ahead of Tony Hawks, and he's 1 ahead of Graham Norton. Isn't that exciting? Right, Derek, your turn to begin. The subject is now behind the scenes. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
In the theatre, we have something called the Actors' Church Union, and there are 4 this...
Tony, you challenge.
I think there was a slight hesitation.
No, it was a definite hesitation. 53 seconds. Behind the scenes is with you, Tony, starting now.
If you were privy to what goes on behind the scenes before the recordings of this show just a minute, you wouldn't listen to it. Frankly, it's disgusting. We were out there rehearsing the full Monty behind that curtain, and it was quite a sight to see. Kenneth... Oh, God, he's...
Oh, they go at me when I get the names confused, right.
Yeah, you started.
Kenneth, that was a little sort of déjà vu. You brought Kenneth Williams back from up above or down below where we went. Yes. Derek, you challenge first. There are 39 seconds behind the scenes starting now.
At the Palladium, lots of these priests used to come round, particularly when we had a big chorus of beautiful girls, and they would try to teach them about God. Now, if it was an all-male show, they never turn up at all. Well, some might. You never know these days, do you really? But I must find that things that go on behind the scenes are very fascinating. For instance, our chairman is in something called a Rocky Horror Show, and he wears fishnet stockings and lovely high-heeled shoes. Now, it's well worth going behind the scenes to see him at it, as it were. Because he's a very popular fellow throughout the country. He's played this lovely theatre, the Lyceum, many times.
Tony, you challenged.
Repetition of theatre.
Yes.
Absolutely true.
Absolutely true. Tony, once more you have got in with 1 second to go. 1 second, Tony, behind the scenes, starting now.
The scenes are lovely.
Tony Hawks with those points, and that extra one of speaking the whistle went, and now taken the lead. He's 1 ahead of Linda Smith, and Linda begins the next round. Linda, the subject is where it's at, starting now.
Where it's at. Everybody these days wants to be there it's at. Or even there, where it's at. Possibly, maybe, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Graham.
Nicholas, move a bit further away.
Graham challenged you, I'm afraid, after 5 seconds.
There just seemed to be a lot of words.
I think there are a lot of words, not necessarily in the right order, yes.
So, all right, Graham, you have it. 52 seconds.
I don't want it in that churlish way.
52 seconds, starting now.
Sadly, I never seem to know where it's at, man. Possibly it was a mistake to me from the bit.
Tony challenged.
Hesitation.
I think so, Tony. Where it's at, 44 seconds, starting now.
It's very important to know where it's at, particularly if you're going to catch a plane. There's no point in going to, say, Gatwick for your aircraft when where it's at is Heathrow. I did this once, and it's no good at all. You really need to go where it's at. Then you can get on it, sit in the chair, and it'll take you to the place where you want to be. Whereas in my case, I was at the wrong place. That's no good at all. So,
Graham Norton challenged.
Oh, was it repetition of place?
There were 2 places, yes, there were. 20 seconds, where it's at, with you, Graham, starting now.
Where it's at? I think it's a sort of urban street kid kind of slang for an exciting place to hang out where they're spinning the discs and they're tapping their feet and saying things like, where it's at.
Linda challenged.
Possibly a repetition of and, maybe? I don't know.
Well, he did repeat and, but you got in with 3 seconds on where it's at, Linda. Starting now.
I hope...
And Derek challenged.
Hesitation.
No! She went immediately with flourish. 2.5 seconds on where it's at, Linda.
Where it's at?
Now.
I'd like to be where it's at, but I don't know where it...
So Linda, where it's at, was speaking on where it's at. And as the whistle went and got that extra point, so that's where it's at the moment. So we move into the last round, and it's Graham Norton's turn to begin. And the subject, oh, what a lovely subject to finish the show on. Gossip. Graham, I'm sure you can gossip, but talk about gossips, starting now.
My mother used to say to me, always remember, Graham, a problem shared is gossip. And how right she was. I remember being at a dinner party once, gossiping about some sort of bizarre incident involving myself and a mounted policeman. When it was revealed that the woman sitting opposite me was the wife of said guard on a horse.
Very good challenge. So, 29 seconds for you, Derek, on gossip starting now.
Landladies are the greatest gossips. I remember staying in digs in Birmingham. The woman said to me, she said,
Tony challenged.
Well, I interpret that noise as a hesitation, but it was kind of...
Yes, got it. That she said. Right. Tony, gossip, 21 seconds, starting now.
Personally, I don't believe the gossip that Nicholas Parsons is in fact a woman. This is Edna Wilcox of Potterton Avenue, Dorking. The gossip columnists have got it all wrong. He's Miss Wilkins from East Sussex in... well, in East Sussex, I believe.
Derek, your challenge.
Hesitation.
Hesitation? I'd have had him for deviation long before that. 4 seconds to go. Gossip with you, Derek, starting now.
I had Mr. Frankie Howard staying here once, very lonely, terribly sad.
Well, did you enjoy that? Yes. Right. Would you like to hear the final score? Yes. Good. It's a very fair result because their contributions have been absolutely outstanding. But Graham Norton just failed to get up with the other three. He did... No. He had a tremendous number of points. Incredible contribution as always. He finished only 3 points behind, but the other three were equal in the lead. So we have 3 winners, Derek Nimmo, Linda Smith and Tony Hawks. There are 3 joint winners this week. It only remains for me to say thank you to our 3 delightful players of the game, Tony Hawks, Linda Smith, Graham Norton and Derek Nimmo. Also to thank Elaine Wigley, who has kept the score for me so magnificently. We also thank Ian Messiter, who created this game, keeps us all in work, which we love doing. And also our director-producer, Chris Neal, for being such a support to us as we play this game. And particularly we thank our lovely audience here at the Lyceum Theatre in Sheffield for encouraging us on our way so magnificently. To all of you, from all of us, thank you very much and God bless. Bye-bye.